Good afternoon, guys. Finally snatched this beauty up for a test drive. If by now any of you still have doubts that BYD flew to the first place in sales by some incomprehensible coincidence, today all your doubts will be multiplied by 0. We have on review the coolest version of the best-selling crossover in BYD's lineup, the Song L. 22 sensors, LiDAR, cameras, there's autopilot, there's auto parking. Total power of 2 electric motors on all-wheel drive. 516 horsepower with acceleration of 4 and 3 seconds to 100. Suspension is double wishbones in the front and multi-lever in the rear. There are adaptive shock absorbers with CDC technology. There is no air suspension. Let's talk about the price. $36,000 are asked for the maximum configuration, and it takes into account the gas roof. It is an option. Without it will be $800 cheaper. Tesla will never catch up to BYD unless BYD changes their policy. $36,000. Do they make nothing at all? I don't understand. Well, either that's the bottom, and where is the bottom then? We can't figure out where it is. Even though Musk has beefed up the Model 3, it does get more interesting, but it's still weaker than this car. Recessed handles for aerodynamics, 2,350 kilograms of curb weight, heavy door, double glazing on the front. And a single pane of glass in the back. The leatherette is not bad quality. Here it's nicer, smoother. This is plastic. No squeaks. It's all lower plastic. 12 Donaudio speakers. The driver has quite a lot of adjustments. There is also a seat extension. I lowered the seat all the way down, sat up straight. I can reach the steering wheel and I still have 2 fingers in front of my knee. If I lie down, I can still move forward and reach the steering wheel. There's more room than in the base BYD Song. The seat is Nappa leather. The steering wheel is Nappa too. The front is heated massage and ventilation. The rear is heated only. The front here is the same material as on the cards, nice enough. It's also leatherette. It's plastic. The screen can be rotated if you want.
你好，小弟。
我在。
旋转屏幕。
好的。
Okay, so you can still do that, but there's no button on the steering wheel. Let's turn it back on. You can call up the voicemail too by pressing this button.
旋转屏幕。
收到。
Let's check for squeaks. There was a little bit, but it's gone somewhere. The screen doesn't squeak. There's a head-up display, but I don't like it. It hurts my eyes. The camera won't transmit. We've tried that. It just doesn't see it. But it's kind of straining my eyes. This is what the gear selector looks like. Agree? Interesting. Quite a lot of physical buttons. There is an emergency light, auto parking, air conditioning, driving modes, 2 cup holders. All this is made to look like aluminum. There are 2 places for wireless phone charging, mechanical air. This is a plus. In general, the interior trim is high quality. BYD can surprise by the fact that they get the battery cheaper than others, and they do not put this money in their pockets, but spend it on interior. Steering wheel adjustment is mechanical in height and in reach. The steering wheel is Nappa leather, nice looking, agree, quite thick. It's all plastic, but it's kind of like aluminum. The physical buttons, they press well, that's a plus, it's good. And this character stands for Song Dynasty. Big armrest, cloth covered inside. Also covered in fabric. Here, under the screen, there's an option to insert 3 bottles. These are different 3 cents. 15-inch screen, as you saw, it can be rotated. The resolution is HD, however, the chip is very fast. That is how they did it. As the manager explained to me, they decided to invest better in the chip than in the screen resolution. You can see that, right? So, tell me your opinion. What do you think? When the screen resolution is super cool, like in Mercedes EQS, but there everything slows down. You press a button, everything freezes. This has a simpler resolution, but as you can see, everything just flies. This is how the climate looks like. You remember? In BYD, you can install any program. There is English language. The desktop can be changed like this. Look, in spite of the fact that the resolution is HD, I don't get the feeling that it's cheap or unpleasant to the eye. The Tesla Model 3, which we reviewed recently, of course, has a chip just as fast, and the screen resolution is much more interesting than here. Nevertheless, I can't say that it's irritating to the eye here. I think the camera will convey that the screen is adequate enough for the money, but it's certainly cheaper than the gilevich.eng, cheaper than the Hi-Fi Z, cheaper than the Tesla. Here at 10 inches, same HD resolution, I'd like better. So that's the shell. To the left of the driver, there is also a camera. You can close it if you want. It's the one that monitors fatigue. The ceiling is covered with ordinary fabric, but it is smooth, nicer than the one I had in gilevich.eng. There is a camera which can be closed if you want. The panoramic roof doesn't have a blind, but it's gas, like in Zeekr and Voya. Press the button and it's transparent, press the button and it's opaque. Sensor lights. To get out of the car, you press this button. There's also an emergency lever inside, a physical lever, in case there's something wrong with the electronics. There is also a niche underneath the console. You can see there are chargers and a rubberized floor. In the back is quite spacious, as you can see, 2 fists in front of my knee, fist above my head. I like the tilt of the backrest. Yes, it was the maximum position. It can be raised, but it's comfortable enough this way. I'd go far. Simple armrest. 36,000, mind you. 2 cup holders, fairly sturdy design. Also here is a cloth-covered box inside. You can move the front passenger if you want. There's a little screen here, as you realized, physical air control. And there's climate control and heated seats. The backs of the front seats look like this. I've got a hook, I've got a touch light. The wheels are 245/45 R20, disc brakes, ventilated all around, and the clearance is 15.5 centimeters. As you may recall, BYD gives the most average battery, and here unfortunately they did just that, 87 kilowatt hours. Fast GBT port. Slow, Type 2. It's spacious enough, 410 liters. Has hooks. And all sorts of niceties. Come to a darker place, the car has ambient lighting, you can choose different colors. And it's on the cards in 2 locations, see, right? It's not sharp steering, it's not a Model Y, it's not a BYD seal, it's not sharp, it's not at all what I envisioned it to be. It's like a Denza N7. It's soft, it's comfortable, it's honed for comfort. It's designed for comfort. Yeah, surprise. I thought for some reason it would be like this. No, it's just like this. It's comfortable. How much it wobbles. Yeah, it's kind of average. Something like Zeekr in the softest mode of its suspension. It's something like that. It's a comfortable car for everyday driving. It's not a seal, it's not a Tesla Model 3, it's not a Model Y, but the suspension is soft, for that you get straight here. Those who like that, please. Noise insulation. The German 3 would be quieter. Lixiang is quieter. Hi-Fi Z is the same. The most average noise insulation, the most average like a Japanese or Volkswagen, like the new Tesla 3 has now. For the money, it's very good. No questions asked. Brakes, I don't like them. I'd like better brakes. I can't say it's a bit weak, but it's like, like a Lexus. I mean, there is energy return, recuperation, not very strong. In the Hi-Fi Z, the return is better. In the Hi-Fi and the Tesla, you let off the gas pedal and it brakes immediately. Here it starts to brake lightly, and I've set the recuperation to maximum. Battery, 87 kilowatt hours, the most average. They promise 600 kilometers. In reality, I think it will be 500 in summer, in winter less, at high speed also less. The seat is comfortable. Not very pronounced lateral support, but it is large. There is enough room for my knees, as for a person of my height. By the way, I turned down the brightness on the heads-up display, and it's no longer irritating to the eye. Okay, let's summarize. BYD, as usual, once again showed the level. That's why they are in the first place, and will continue to be, unless of course they get conceited and start raising prices. Very good car turned out to be, even somehow too good. As for the price tag of $36,000, I give it a standing ovation. Okay friends, thank you for watching. If you like the video, you know what to do. Do sports, eat healthy food, take care, see you later on.